Police in Gauteng have launched a meta investigation following the grim discovery of a 14-year-old Lekona Force's mutilated body in an open field in Roodepoort. The young girl's remains were found on Sunday by a passerby, sparking renewed outrage over the country's relentless wave of gender-based violence. Gauteng Police spokesperson Colonel Damakatso Dibuwuli confirmed that no arrests have been made in connection with the matter, and said the mutilated body was found in an open field by a passerby who notified the police. The suspects are unknown at this stage, and police investigations are underway. Law enforcement has since mobilized additional resources in an effort to track down those responsible. Resources have been mobilized to ensure that culprits responsible for this heinous attack are behind bars and brought to book. Has urged anyone with information to contact the Crime Stop line or submit anonymous tips via the My SAPS app. The horrifying discovery has drawn strong condemnation from civil rights organizations and activists who are demanding urgent and systematic action to protect women and girls across South Africa. Naren Mainame Secretary General Themba Masango expressed his outrage, noting that Lekona's matter comes as the nation is still mourning the recent brutal killing of another young girl, Olorato Mongale, and said the matters of Olorato and Lekona are yet another painful reminder that South Africa remains one of the most dangerous places in the world to be a woman. How many more must die before we collectively say enough is enough? He referred to the 2019 killing of Uyinene Rwetyana, a case that galvanized national outrage, saying it's disheartening that similar tragedies continue to unfold, and said we are tired of raising our voices over the same tragedies. We are tired of burying our sisters, our daughters, our friends. Olorato's life mattered. Lekona's life mattered. Their stories are not just headlines, they are a damning indictment of a society that continues to fail women and girls. Meanwhile, police investigations into Olorato Mongale's murder have resulted in significant developments last week. Authorities identified 3 individuals linked to her death: Vesile Ngubane, Philangenkosi Sibungukuhle Makhanya, and Bongani Mthimkhulu. On Friday, a confrontation between police and Makhanya at a residential complex in Mazimtoti turned deadly when the suspect opened fire. Police returned fire, fatally wounding him. Investigators have since cleared Ngubane, confirming he was also a victim of Makhanya and Mthimkhulu. As the nation reels from these back-to-back tragedies, calls are growing louder for a united and sustained societal response to protect its most vulnerable. For now, Lekona's family and community wait in anguish, hoping justice will be served. Meanwhile, Vesile Ngubane was also a victim of Makhanya, is also a father to a teenage girl, and earns a living by washing cars, was wrongly implicated in the horrific murder of Mongale. After a suspect in the murder, Philangenkosi Makhanya allegedly used Ngubane's identity to register multiple SIM cards. Makhanya allegedly used the SIM cards registered in Ngubane's name to communicate with various women. Speaking to journalists, Ngubane said despite struggling with drug addiction, he is not a violent person. And I would like South Africans to know that I have never been involved in crime. I have never been a person who is a fan of crime. I do not entertain crime. It's just that the addiction, the life that I have put myself in, is the one that is really hurting me. For those 3 days, as I was in the holding cells, I was shaking for my life. I saw that maybe this is my last opportunity in life to turn back, to do good. Most of my life, I've had my parents and I have had myself. I would like to say to South Africans, anybody who thought I was involved in this should know that I have never done anything wrong. I have never left home. I have always been at home with my parents, and I have never laid a hand on a woman. I have 1 child in my life. I'm not a violent person. Ngubane said from the time he was arrested and went on to spend days in police holding cells, his neighbors have been vouching for him because they know he's not a violent person. Ngubane said he would be happy to receive help to quit his reliance on intoxicating substances. I would kindly be glad if help was offered. It was also reported that the Deputy Police Minister, Dr. Polly Boishelo, has called for society to help the authorities to combat gender-based violence at Mongale's funeral in Bloemfontein. Boshiyelo extended her condolences to Mongale's family, particularly her mother, Poppy Mongale, and said, "We may not have been able to prevent the death of your child, but one of her perpetrators is now in permanent custody and will never rise again to terrorize other women." The police's National Anti-Kidnapping Task Team and Gauteng Provincial Investigating Unit were activated immediately after the case was reported last Sunday. Boyshela also said, "Ladies and gentlemen, it was important that we get to these criminals first before they do what they did to Olorado, to another woman. To Poppy and the family, may you find solace in knowing that because of Olorado's spirit, Philangenkosi Makhanya will no longer terrorize women in South Africa." Boyshelo emphasized that at least 20 cases are being linked to the suspects, with incidents reported in Bloemfontein, Nelspruit, Midrand, Pretoria, Potchefstroom, Lebochum, and Johannesburg. Victims were led under the guise of romantic interest, only to be robbed and in some cases kidnapped. She also reiterated that Ngubane, previously thought to be a suspect, has been cleared following evidence that he was a victim of identity theft. What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.